happen.
Alright, so I'm a little late on watching this Boruto episode, mainly because this episode came out on my 20th birthday, and I was obviously more focused on having a decent birthday instead of watching an episode of an anime series that is only just okay and seemingly is getting better, at least with animation. We'll go with that for right now, and so I was genuinely surprised by this episode. So, I had noticed that for the past couple weeks, the episode's animation style, not style, but like its animation has gotten better. You know, there are a lot of frames of the characters moving around, and it looks better. It looks better than just, you know, the pretty average and generic animation style that they had before, and what they were using, and so kind of seeing these characters move around like the way that they do in this episode was definitely a lot more exciting to watch, and made the action a lot more exciting to watch, which essentially what the action is mainly about is Boruto, Sarada, and Mitsuki fighting clones of themselves made out of the shadow that was casted by the moon, because Tsukio, the main guy that they're fighting in this episode, he ends up getting revealed on who he really is later on in the episode, which we'll get to, but he ends up casting a jutsu, which I thought in the previews was shadow possession, but it wasn't. They were very smart on hiding what he was actually able to do with that jutsu in the previews from last week, so, you know, they fooled me. I guess I just assumed, you know, too early, and I shouldn't have done that, but I did, so it's, you know, really kind of whatever, but it's basically just Boruto, Sarada, and Mitsuki protecting Kokiri from Tsukio and the clones that he is then casted from the moon that are connected to Boruto and, you know, the other two. And it's kind of a generic, you know, fight that they're kind of having, and it kind of ends up like the way that you think it does, obviously. So, you know, Boruto, Sarada, and Mitsuki, they end up beating Tsukio. Tsukio uses his jutsu to try to capture Kokiri, and they both fall in the water, and then Kokiri ends up falling back up above shore. But it turns out Tsukio disguises himself as Kokiri and kills him, and then goes back up above shore. And then later on in the episode, he has to end up giving him the information that was, you know, written in the notebook, because and at some point in the beginning part of the first half of the episode, Kokiri hands Boruto a notebook or a journal that has all the information on the Mujina gang and the head boss guy, Shochoji? I think that's what his name is. Don't quote me on that. You know what his jutsu is, and the whole Mujina gang, and, you know, everything, you know, about them. And by the end of the episode, it's actually revealed who Tsukio actually was, and it is the main guy, the boss of the Mujina gang, Shojoji. He disguised himself as Tsukio, you know, the second-hand man of the Mujina gang, and went in there and he was gonna go and, you know, kill Kokiri, but that didn't end up working out, because when they both fell in the water, and when they were obviously he was having to deal with Boruto, Mitsuki, and Sarada, you know, things just got, you know, a little hairy, so he killed Kokiri, disguised himself from Tsukio to Kokiri, and then because he had to, you know, basically act like he is himself, or because, you know, Shochoji had to act like he was Kokiri, he had to go along and basically confess that everything that was written in that notebook is, you know, is actually true, because it is. Because Kokiri wrote everything down ahead of time and gave it to Boruto before he ended up dying. So, yeah, I was pretty surprised by this at the end of the episode, but really, if you really pick up on it and you're paying attention, you're going to notice it, and it's because Kokiri, when he realizes that Boruto had a notebook, or when he sees that Boruto is handing Sai, because Sai and a couple other Leaf Ninja end up showing up to kind of save the day, when Boruto gives the notebook to Sai, he says that it has all the information on the Mujina gang that was given from Kokiri, but it would probably be easier if Kokiri just admits to everything himself. And so basically the head boss had to admit to everything about the Mujina gang, which is kind of hilarious, but it kind of ends off in the end at the end of the episode of a still shot of not his face, but kind of like his, you know, his mouth area and nothing else really besides that. So I don't really know if like, he's gonna end up showing back up later. I don't know if this like sort of Mujina gang thing is gonna continue on later at some point, or if they're gonna continue this like whole Mujina gang arc and stuff and just keep going. I have no idea, but hopefully it just keeps end up being interesting like this, and hopefully animation is, you know, consistent on this basis on a week-to-week basis, because if they can keep doing that, it's gonna be pretty cool. So hopefully they're gonna continue doing a good job with what they're given so far, and I'm pretty excited. I thought this episode was really, really good. You know, better than a lot of Boruto episodes that we've gotten over the past couple weeks. So I'm pretty happy about that. I actually really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of the episode, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just end the video. Leave a like if you did like it. Leave a dislike if you didn't like it. I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. You know, the whole stuff with the coronavirus is kind of getting a little bit out of hand, and you know, I hope all of you do, you know, take the necessary precautions to stay safe out there, and whatever you're doing. But yeah, have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out.